Welcome to another video. One reason that I think my Mustang is competitive with the higher horsepower cars that I normally run against is the power to weight ratio. And today we are going to figure out one piece of that equation, the weight. Now if you're not familiar with the SCCA CAM-T class that I'm running in, minimum weight that is allowed for that class is 3,000 pounds. The stock 1994 Mustang advertised weight is 3,400 pounds. I'm pretty confident that I have removed 400 pounds from the car, but I've also added weight to the car, namely the roll bar, the torque arm, the splitter, a few other items like that. So we are going to figure out how much the car actually weighs. And how we're going to do that is with these scales sitting here right behind me. So I borrowed some scales from our local club. So those are Longacre computer scales. So they are a scale for each wheel. So that will allow me to get the total weight, the cross weight, the side to side weight, the front to back weight, all the weights that you really want to know for a race car. Mainly, I just want to figure out how much the car actually weighs. I just want to make sure that I am over the minimum weight. That minimum weight is with driver, so I think I am over the minimum weight, but I just want to try to get as close to that weight as possible. And then from there, I will try to get a good weight balance as I can. I'm not really going to go into moving things around at this moment. I'm just going to record all the weights. Then in the future, I might try to move some weights around. One of the big weights is the battery. I want to put in a lighter battery, one of the lithium batteries, but those ones cannot really go inside the car unless you got a closed off compartment in the back. I don't really want to go through all the hassle of moving the battery all the way to the back or running cables all the way back to the front. I probably will just put in a smaller battery in the stock location, but that is for a future video. Not going to be covered in this one. So let's get the scales out, get the car rolled up onto the scales, and figure out where we're at. Alright, here are the weights of the car. 3,100 pounds without a driver in it. So if you watched any of my other videos, several years ago I did have the car weighed and it was 3,000 pounds, and that was without an interior. That was in its like C-prepared trim. Since then I have added a torque arm, I've put the interior back in, I've added a front splitter, I've done other things to add weight and remove weight to bumper, aluminum heads, things like that. So I'd actually estimated that I'd add about 100 or so pounds to the car since that was first weighed. So I'm pretty accurate. 3,100 pounds, and then with me in it, it's just over 3,200 pounds. So that means I have about 200 pounds that I can still take out of the car to get to that 3,000 minimum weight. How am I going to do that? I don't know right now. I don't really know where I can take out 200 pounds without starting to get a little crazy with maybe some different fenders or things like that, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with that weight. I'll see what I can do to try to get some more weight out of it. But for now, we will see if we can do anything with the corner balance. So my floor is pretty level, I believe. I didn't really go and level the plates. That was something that I didn't really think about until I already had the car up there. The tire pressures are all set and even. So I'm not too concerned about getting the corner weights exact. And all I can really do is adjust the rear. The rear I have coilovers, the fronts I do not. So the rear is the only ones that I can really mess with. But from what I understand, so this is my first time ever weighing the car, ever doing any quarter balance. So forgive me if I do anything or say anything wrong. This is the first time ever doing it, but I think I would need to adjust one corner anyways to move my weights around. So I'd only do either the driver rear or passenger front, and vice versa. I would do the passenger rear or the driver front to move the weights around. So me only adjusting the rear actually works out to get my corner weights. So let's look at what those actually are. So on here you can see that my cross weight is 52%. With me in it, it goes down to 51%. So that is really good. I'll see if I can get to 50%, because if you look at the wheel weights, I think if I lower this one a little bit, so lower the car, should lower that weight if I understand it correctly. So I might be able to get that a little bit closer to 50%, I think. My left, so this is left right, is right at 50%. With me in it, I think it goes up to 51%. And then my front weight, so I have 57% forward. Once I'm in the car, it goes back to like 56. So I think the front to rear weight is actually really good, and that is with almost a full tank of fuel. So I could also go and calculate how much the fuel is actually weighing and how much it's contributing to this, so I know, like, if I'm running half a tank or an almost empty tank, what my weight actually is. So I think I'm going to mess with my rear coilovers and see if I can get this cross weight closer to 50-50. That would be pretty cool. So let me adjust that and we'll go from there. And adjusting these is pretty simple. So I just loosen up this jam nut right there, turn this lower perch on this sleeve, and I'll lower this coil down just a little bit and see how that then adjusts my weights. So I've taken 3 turns out of the driver's side rear. It didn't lower it that much, maybe only like 3/16 of an inch. But it's gotten the cross weight much better. So we'll look at the wheel weight. So it has brought that weight down and has moved the weight, I believe, more to this side. And this side, I believe this number was also higher before. So it's brought that one down. It's brought my cross weight down to 51%. But when I sit in the car, we're right at like 49.9 to 50%. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I got 50% basically dead on my cross weight. I have 51% to the left and 57% to the front. So that should give a pretty good balanced car. So the cross weight, you want to try to get 50% so the car feels the same when it turns left versus turn to the right. The left to right weight, it would be nice to get that more even, but 51% is pretty close to 50-50 left to right. And then my forward to back weight is always going to be more biased towards the front. With having an engine in the front, I have luckily done some stuff to remove weight off the front, such as the aluminum heads. It would be nice to try to shed some more weight from the front, but there's not too much more up there that I can do. So I have the battery, and then the K-member would be the next thing to try to get a good amount of weight out of the car. I forgot how much the aftermarket K-member can actually save you. I thought it's somewhere between 20 and 50 pounds. But front suspension is something that I will do in the future. I had big plans for the front suspension that I want to do, so I'm not going to be buying anything right at the moment because I don't want to screw up those future plans. So overall, I was pretty close on my weight estimates that I did in previous videos. It would have been nice to have been a little bit closer to that 3,000 minimum weight, but at least I'm not under the weight and having to figure out adding weight, even though that would have been kind of nice to put the weight where I want it. But for now, I am happy with it. The car does feel really balanced when it's going around corners. Next thing I need to do now is figure out the power of the engine, and then I can actually figure out my power to weight ratio. And then I can compare that to some of the cars that I'm running up against, their estimated power to weight ratios, because I don't know some of those exactly, because some of them are not stock cars anymore. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to see more of this car, hit the subscribe button down there. Autocross season is just getting underway. We're going to have some more videos coming out probably every 2 weeks on autocross videos, so you don't want to miss those. And we will see you guys in the next one. Later.